Welcome to Mapperton, our family home and estate in Dorset in the southwest of England.
Julie and I took over running Mapperton a few years ago from my parents, the Earl and Countess of Sandwich.
It's a lot of work, but also a lot of fun. This place is full of fascinating stories, extraordinary people, and endless repairs.
So please join our family on this journey of a lifetime as we put all our efforts into preserving this magnificent part of England's heritage.
Hi everybody, we are back here in the kitchen. This seems to be our favorite place, or it's at least my favorite place because it's warm. So I thought we should get warm, or at least I should get warm, because I'm gonna be heading out in the rain momentarily. News is that we've had yet another leak. This is like a weekly occurrence, wouldn't you say? I mean, I feel like it's a weekly occurrence. We've had another leak and Raymond's gonna once again show me the leak. So I need to warm up before I head out there because even it's cold. It's cold.
Well, I think leaks are one of those things in country houses that you just have to learn to live with. I mean, it's an absolutely endless catalogue of the wretched things. I mean, since we've taken over here, I think it's fair to say we haven't had it quite as bad as my parents. Because when they took over...
I still think it's pretty bad, but...
Well, it's been pretty bad. No, we're going to go and visit some of our favourite or least favourite leak locations in a minute. But it is worth just going back in time a little bit and thinking of my parents taking over in the 80s, which was a time when the central heating was hardly on in the house, and we had these dreadful, dreadful winters, which led to the massive freezing of pipes and, of course, all of the leaks that came about as a result of that.
Yeah, and old pipes. So the other thing is when I first started to come to Mapperton, there were leaks, it was cold, I didn't really, and I was just like, can't you just get a plumber out here to like fix it? And I remember you being like, no, you can't just get any old plumber out here to fix these leaks. And that's why we have lovely Raymond. And of course your parents, like you said, did go through probably twice as many leaks as we're going through. So,
well, I don't know whether they went through more, but they certainly had some very dramatic ones. So this is my dad's book. If any of you would like to buy it, it's fabulous. It's his memoir and reminiscences of time moving into Mapperton in the 80s and those kind of early years. And it starts off on the 12th of January, 1987. That's the beginning of the diary. But very quickly, on the next day, which is Tuesday the 13th of January, so he's just started doing the diary, and he says, this day of calamities starts at minus 12 degrees outside, but Cecil Tolman says it's minus 18 in the wind, the kind that gets under the windows. And yes, suddenly I hear drip, drip, drip in my father's bedroom, and the worst has happened, a burst pipe in the attic. Cupboard has exactly above his bed, making a big pool in the canopy, that's the thing above the four-poster, and it drips rapidly through his mattress, straight through the library ceiling and straight onto my father's chaise longue. In other words, it scores a treble. It's gone through three floors. It scores a treble. I love that. And then you think, well, that's
quite a leak.
That's quite a start to this story. But then you only need to go to Wednesday, the 14th of January, which is the day after. And he's cleared up the previous leak, and then he says, I spent quite a lot of time clearing up with towels and all the things that he'd used to clear up the previous leak. And then at 4 p.m. I went along the landing to see if the bedroom was dry, and I heard the familiar sounds of a mountain stream and fountains playing directly overhead. Here we go again. Felt some panic as it was nearly dark, rushed up to the attic to find the same pipe has burst further along and was spraying water from several holes into the floorboards behind the skirting. Very hard to dam, but I rushed to get tubs and jam my finger into the towels to stop the holes like the Dutch boy, but found the basins filling up every few minutes with water pouring through the 18th century ceiling of the staircase hall.
Oh my goodness.
And so on and so on. So that was the start of their time here. So I think we've had it quite easy relative to that.
Okay, We've had one come from the top floor, Nestor's bathroom, all the way down into the small kitchen next door. So we have had that, and that happened over lockdown. That big one. That was our first big. That was enormous. So
I think there are three types of leaks here at Mapperton I've worked out. There are leaks that you've got no chance of ever fixing because it's almost impossible to find out what's causing them, or at least to fix what's causing them. There's leaks you hope you can fix, and we've got a few of those that we might look at today. And then there are the kind of absolutely essential leaks that you've got to stay on top of. And there was one bit of advice that was given to me by somebody who has another historic house. He said, really, your only responsibility as the owner of a historic house is to keep the water out. Everything else is just on top of that and is
I think we've done it. Well, let's go look at some of them, because I do, now that I go from room to room. It's funny because being here now, you do, rather than walking into a room and looking like, wow, isn't it just lovely and filled with history, you sort of look around now and you think, is there a leak? Is there damp?
You hear, it's like I was sitting in the kitchen earlier today and I heard a sort of slight crackling noise, and I was looking up, and up above here, the rope was making, I was instantly thinking, oh my God, the water's about to come through. So you're on guard, you're sort of ready to respond, get the bucket.
You get the buckets out, the pots and the pans.
Run to the closest place. Well, I've come up with a list of leaks that I thought we could go and look at. These are the ones in the aspiration.
That's a long list.
These are the ones in the aspirational category, the ones we hope we can fix, but we haven't quite managed to do it yet.
That's a lot.
So I thought we could go and do a lightning tour.
Okay.
And then later you're going to go and off with Raymond and look at the big leak that we urgently need to fix.
This is an urgent one.
And it's an outside leak, which means that it's not affecting the house, but it affects the water supply, because that's the other type of leak that we have here. You have the ones trying to come in, but then you've got all the water that we are pumping out to tenants on the estate, and all of those pipes over time dilapidate. And
that's why we need Raymond,
more leaks.
Who's been here for 37 years.
And Raymond is going to...
Because he knows where every single pipe is on the estate.
He knows where all the bodies are buried.
Should go have a look.
Let's go. If you are enjoying this episode, please consider supporting this important part of England's heritage by becoming a patron at mappertonlive.com. Right, here we go. We've got leak number 1, which I think is actually the scariest of all of them because it's right above the main electrics. But fortunately, that leak has been plugged, but we haven't redecorated.
Oh, okay. I was like, it doesn't look like it's been plugged. It still looks leaky.
Well, they're all leaky. Okay. Let's go. Next leak.
I didn't know there was a leak in here.
Well, I know there's been a terrible leak in here, which again we think is fixed, but we're not completely sure. The leak has been in the skylight up there. The whole thing and the roof has been redone, not once, but twice. And we think that the second time finally got it. But you can see how the leak has come down onto the desk, stained that and the carpet.
All the way down here.
I know.
So anyway, we have to repair that now too.
No, we think that one's plugged. We think leak number 2 is plugged. So this one I call the Backstairs Leak, and it's in the category of impossible to fix leaks.
I can see that.
Because what happens is we have the driving southwesterly rain, which happens all the time here, and it just comes through the stone, starts pouring down the mullion, pools of water there, and
I always see a towel there.
Yeah, we're endlessly throwing. I think towels is the only solution for that one. We actually had the whole of the outside stone repointed, but that didn't seem to make any difference.
I can actually see this one. This one I can see.
This is our 4th leak on our leak tour, and this is the chapel room leak, and this leak is just coming straight down the chimney.
Certainly is.
And sometimes we have jackdaws stuck up the top, in which case we have twigs, but when it pours with rain, the water comes through, and you can see all the.
You've got to get this fixed before people come and stay here on the yoga retreat.
That's true. And we've done the chapel room leak, but now we've got the Tudor room leak. And the Tudor room leak
is enormous.
It's up above the mantle, and it's the same problem. It's in this category of really hard to fix leak.
That's the worst one I've seen. And also there's a light bulb missing there.
There sure is.
So we'll have to fix that. This is serious. This whole wall needs to be redecorated.
Well,
it does look at it does.
Right. We'll get it done, ma'am. This leak is a really old leak, and actually it's been completely fixed. But when we had the leak from the
wrong one.
from redoing all the bathrooms,
There's something over there. I want to show you.
we had a leak when we redid all the bathrooms recently, and the water came all the way through. And actually, this is one that my parents talk about in a bit more detail. So maybe we'll let them explain.
Do you remember there was a great freeze in about 1987? Everything froze up, including the diesel in the lorries, tanks. And I drove down the M4 and wondered why all these lorries were stationary, because they were actually frozen up. As a result, my father-in-law, however, who was taking weather readings every evening, hadn't quite got his stats right. And so the central heating, I think, got turned off. And the following morning, half the house was frozen up. And I was in London, happily. John was down here. Do you remember? And then, as it thawed, the pipes burst all over the house, including up in the attics up here. And water came through this ceiling, this rococo ceiling, particularly in this area, so that satyr, that fellow in the centre of that roundel, had a drip on the end of his nose for months.
Well, we had to puncture him.
I know.
In order to release the water.
And you always have to drive a skewer up into ceilings to get the water through, otherwise the ceiling falls
And there
down.
was another area further
Over there, yeah. It was grim.
We used to tease my father because he could do those heating measurements to the sort of 9 decimal points.
Yes, I know.
And yet he got it wrong.
Well, yes, it was pretty grim. And the night of the great storm also, he said it was light airs, which was great.
Can I just show you this then?
Well, there's another one.
No, but that. Do you see that?
Well, that's just some cracked paintwork. I mean, that's absolutely everywhere.
Oh.
Sorry.
Okay. I thought it was
You've got very high standards.
I certainly do.
This leak is up in what we call Jemima's attic. And what are we on, leak 6, 7?
I don't know.
We can't even remember. There's quite a few of them. But,
It's a lot of leaks.
but we've just redecorated all these bathrooms, and look, we've got this leak coming through the skylight again.
Oh.
And all of that needs repainting. And again, we've got to find the tile on the outside.
Yeah, because it's come
That's responsible.
all the way down here. Is that right?
Yeah. I think this might be the last leak we look at today
Well, it's here,
in the house.
It's here, right? It's always one here. But I thought we had the window fixed.
That one we got fixed because we redid all the windows. But yeah, guess what? We got another one.
No.
Look over here.
No.
So this is the lavatory that we moved, and it looks like the cistern is actually leaking.
Okay, no. That is okay. That's gonna take the cake.
Well, no, but I think it's a fairly simple job just to repaint and so forth. So that one I'm not so worried about. That is a fixable leak.
Okay.
Lots of these leaks are not fixable. That one is
I'm
fixable.
exhausted. I didn't even know this.
We're leaked out, aren't we?
Yeah, now I got to go visit a big one with Raymond, the biggie.
So I think we can safely say that there are almost as many leaks at Mapperton
And a lot of steep stairs.
as he said,
Okay, yeah.
as there are in Downing Street at the moment, which is suffering no end of leaks if you've been reading the news.
Haven't. So haven't been reading about Downing Street.
Different kind of leak.
Yeah. Oh, is that meant to be funny?
It was quite a good one, wasn't it?
Went way over my head. I actually thought you meant that Boris Johnson. I thought you meant leaks, and I was like, nothing compared to ours.
The news.
No,
it's all about leaks at the
I'm
moment.
over politics.
Leaks everywhere. So
Okay.
But there was yet another leak last week that I found in the coach house.
Okay.
And knowing that we were going to be talking about leaks, I immediately got my phone out
Well done.
and filmed a little leak sequence. I'm just going into the coach house to visit a new leak that we've just discovered. And this leak is coming out of the biomass heating system. On the weekend, there's absolutely no end to these. Now, this leak, which I think is being fixed today, is in this cupboard here. I don't know if there's going to be any light that we can use, but there's quite a lot of water on the ground coming out of this pipe, and the pipe has been dripping don't know if it's dripping right now. Oh, yeah, there you go. You can just about see the drip. And that drip is, I think, caused by some corrosion in the pipe. It's a new system, or at least it's only 2 years old. And on this occasion, I actually found the leak and the drip.
And did you fix it?
No.
Is it fixed? Oh, no, it's not fixed.
It's still leaking away.
All right, well, let me go see the big leak.
You go see the big leak, and I'm going to go that way.
With Raymond, and I'll report back.
Report back.
Okay.
We'll see you later. If you are enjoying this episode, please consider supporting this important part of England's heritage by becoming a patron at mappertonlive.com.
This water right here is actually from a leak, not from the rain. It was raining earlier, but the sun has come out and it's dried everything up, but this leak. So this water is from the leak, and I'm with the man who knows everything about leaks, Raymond.
I don't know about everything, but we try our best.
Yeah, you do. So tell me what's happened here.
Well, we've got a leak on the fire hydrant, which if you see the fire hydrant, see that line across there towards that stick? That is where that's the line of the fire hydrant.
Oh, okay.
That comes from the fire hydrant reservoir up there.
Right.
That one comes down to here, then it goes on down through to the main house.
Okay. So this is water that we use?
No, water that we would use if there was a fire. Fire hydrant water.
Okay. Ding, 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 ding.
Took me a bit. The drinking water is that line there.
Is that line
see
there?
See those two lines there?
Yes.
That goes to the left of that poplar tree, and then that goes right up and comes right down from that stand of wood up there.
Okay, and we've probably had a leak of this before, haven't we?
We did have a leak further down.
Yeah.
But this one, we've had a couple before. It's quite old cast iron pipe.
Oh, okay.
And it's not very deep. It's probably only about
underneath here.
Yeah,
yeah,
not
and
very
it's
deep
cast.
at all.
So okay, so next. So all right. So you know all about the leaks. How many years have you been here, Raymond?
About 38.
38. Okay.
Nearly a lifetime for some
right.
people.
That's right. Nearly my lifetime.
Yeah.
I like to pretend I'm in my 30s. But anyway, moving on.
Enjoyable years. Though.
Exactly. So how are you going to fix this?
Well, we dig this by hand.
Right.
Because it's not very deep. We know it's not very deep. And there's nothing hard underneath here. It's just soil. And then, that will expose probably a 75 mil size cast iron pipe.
Okay.
Which probably cracked. It looks like a tractor's gone over. See the footprint there and beyond? Might have been, we don't know.
And that could have, the weight of that could have cracked it.
Could have.
So you have to replace that whole pipe.
No, so what we do is we just chop out a piece and we use a mechanical fitting, which is like a sleeve with bolts on it, and it pressures up like a donut.
Yep.
And squeezes on the pipe, and then.
And that's your quick fix.
Yeah. Well,
all right. So how many of these fixing of pipes have you done over your 38-year reign here?
Oh goodness knows. That's a hard one.
I mean, 100?
No, we haven't done 100.
You don't think you've done 100?
No.
Come on, Raymond.
No, we haven't done 100.
Yes, you have.
No,
There's at least, Luke and I just counted like 7 or 8 leaks.
Yeah,
that's
7 or 8.
Right.
We've actually got 2 running at the moment.
Yeah, but I don't mean, no. I don't mean the same leak.
Oh, no. no, but we've actually got 2 leaks now in different places.
Yep.
We've got this one for the fire hydrant, and over the other side of the farm, we've got a water
So that's
leak.
already, I'm already at 9 or 10. You've been here for 38 years.
Yeah.
That's like, no. So
Maybe,
hundreds.
maybe,
You've seen hundreds of leaks.
Well, maybe seen them, yeah. Yeah, okay.
You're very calm about these leaks. I'm a little bit more like,
Well, there's no need to get worried about it.
I know, but as an American, we'll have like 1 leak and that's a disaster, but we never really have like 10 going at the same time. And this is really what's happening here. Luke's just showed me at least 7 or 8. Then you're telling me about 2 more here.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's one lurking that we don't even know about.
There's one more hole there that we've got, which we've turned the water off.
That would be 10 leaks.
Okay.
I just learned about 10 leaks today.
Yeah.
I wish I could help, Raymond, but
That's
I
all
don't
right.
even think you want my help. I mean,
Well,
I want to offer it, but I don't think you should
If,
take it.
if we're struggling next week, we'll give you a shout.
Okay, I'll put on my hard helmet. All right, thanks, Raymond.
Okay, thank you.
So I have just seen what you've seen, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is absolutely spectacular. So I know that Sophie's been here setting it up. This is our first one.